Hello, we are back for episode 7 of the Getting to Know Me series. It's my top 5. We had my top 5 NHL players, Mr. Pavel Bure being number 1. Mark, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
You kind of teed me up a little bit at the end of the last episode. It's the first one of this kind of type. All of them have been kind of positive so far, but you went with my worst 5 teammates. And I said to you I had 3 off the bat. I've got my 5. Let's fucking do this. Let's do this.
All right then, number 5.
Number 5. I'm gonna give you a little number 6. Number 6 would have made the list had I played some senior games with him, but I played junior, playing up to the Bison, and Nicky Cross was there, and I fucking hate that guy, a bully piece of shit. And he's the guy I actually broke my stick over his chest in a charity game, and we had a tilt, and the army guys were there in Slough, and they loved it. But I didn't play with Crossy, so he can't really be on the list, but he would have been right in there. So number 5, I am going to go with my year. I was on a 2-way with Basingstoke and Swindon, and Brent Hughes was Basingstoke captain, good player, went on to play for Dundee, but he brung in his buddy about 3 months into the season, a guy named Mike Olnick. He was supposed to be tough. He wasn't tough. He was supposed to be good. He wasn't good. And then he just thought he'd be like a big wheel off the ice. He nearly got ironed out a couple of times, if I'm honest. I tried to go him in practice when I was on a 2-way. But, just a douchebag. Dumb hillbilly Canadian. Just a piece of shit, and I'm glad I didn't have to play with him for the whole season because I would have ended up taking his teeth out. And this is just number 5.
Fuck. All right, man. All right, number 4.
Number 4, played with him for a short time. He's still playing now. Really good player, but I just didn't get on with him. Didn't like his attitude or how he was in the room, how he was with the refs, and chiseling points on like second assist when you're losing 7-1 and shit like that. And pass me, pass me. I'm sure if anybody's listened to my podcast, they know exactly who I'm going to say right about now. But Eric Piatak, he'd be number 4 for me. Don't have too much bad to say about him. And like I
He was
did,
a good player, very good player.
he's a good player in the other end of the ice, and typical Euro, not really that bothered about defense, but all out offense. He could score with the best of them, but I clashed with him. The way he was in the room, he was a fucking sulky baby. I've heard good things about him in Romford though, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, he would make my list at number 4.
Okay, so 3.
Number 3. See, I've got these names written down here, and there could be. I think number 3, I'm gonna go with Slavomir Sojak. He was a goalie who played on the Isle of Wight. Not only, but he was miserable as fuck. He come in the room, he was miserable all the time. He was rude to the young guys. And obviously, when you play on the Isle of Wight, there's only going to be, say, a half a dozen, 10 guys that actually live on the island. The rest of the guys obviously live on the mainland. So when you're getting back from away games, you have to unpack the bus. You have to hang the boys' kit up. Every week he would unpack his kit, fuck off, never help any of the boys. He just wasn't a team guy. He was a piece of shit. And do you know what? He was a good goalie on his day, but absolute cancer in the locker room. And yeah, probably the worst goalie teammate I've ever played with. Well, definitely the worst goalie teammate I've ever, because there isn't one in the top 2. So
Fair. So yeah, number 2 then. Give us that. I bet you're trying to filter them out now. Which ones to pick?
I could toss a coin here, but I'm gonna go with Branny Caveton from Guildford. I played against him. One hell of a player. When you play with him, you realise he's not actually that good. He makes a hell of a lot of mistakes, and again, just not a nice guy. I didn't like him in the locker room. He was miserable. I didn't like his attitude, to be honest. He thought he was too good. He was part of the furniture there, very comfortable. Absolute bullet of a shot. But yeah,
Guildford.
Guildford, yeah. Do you know what? When he first came over, he might have been the best team man in the league. By the time I got to play with him in 2014, I wouldn't have said he was. I wasn't a fan of the guy. Really wasn't a fan of the guy. So that leaves number one. Can you guess who it is? I have played with a lot of guys, and you'll notice that there's no Brits on this list. And that's nothing to do with the fact that like a good portion of these lads are Eastern European. That's nothing said bad about Eastern Europeans, because if I was to give you my top 5 list that I played with, there's going to be some Eastern Euros on that as well. So it's nothing against those guys. It's just these ones in particular. But number one, Captain Cocksucker himself, Captain Cage, Mr. Zoran Kozic. Barring Wayne Scholes, this guy is about as much of a prick as you can get in hockey. He was so disrespectful to Steve Moria and anyone else that was coaching there, Warren, and rocking up in between like 5 and 10 minutes before he's supposed to go on the ice when there's team talks going on, missing 3 weeks of practice, coming back, putting himself straight on the first power play unit. I mean, after I left, I heard all sorts of stories about him getting massaged by his missus in the locker room while like the team talks going on. And just a stereotypical rich guy, like, look at me. And he treated the ice hockey club like it was his toy. He ran the club into the ground. And yeah, the guy's a piece of shit. The reason I actually left Slough and went to the Isle of Wight, we were playing in Chelmsford one night, and bearing in mind I'd already fought once or twice with Zoran that season, and a couple of times for the season before. He speared someone in the back of the legs, or slashed somebody in the back of the legs from Chelmsford. They chased him about a little bit, and he comes to me on the bench and he's like, "Watty, you must fight him for me." And I was like, "No, you cheap shotted him. Absolutely not. Go fuck yourself." And he's like, "You fight or you're gone." I was like, "Bye. See you later." And that was pretty much all she wrote. That was the end of my Slough career, and it was sad for it to come to an end. But yeah, I left there and then went to play with Slavomir Sojak, so it was all good. But that's been my top 5 worst teammates. I quite enjoyed that. That was quite therapeutic.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
That was quite therapeutic. I got a cheeky grin on my face. If you enjoyed it too, I'm sure if any of my former teammates are watching this, there's going to be some you agree with. I can guarantee it. But I know some of the lads that was on the rosters that I played with didn't like any of these boys either. So, hey, and I'm sure I'm on a few people's lists. So if I am, get fucked.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. But this has been episode 7. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the usual stuff. Get involved. Chirp me if you need to chirp me. Disagree if you need to disagree. Agree if you agree. And yeah, come back and we will be rocking episode 8 very soon. Ciao.
Ciao.